Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us again. Hope that you're appreciating and liking all these videos we're making for you. Having a good time here. My name is Charles. This is my good buddy Evan. He's been training here with us for about 7-8 years now. We'd like to kind of look at ankle locks. Notice that a lot of people back in the 90s, you didn't see it very often, and in the past few years here from I'd say 2010 to the present here in the term of this video here in 2017, you see it a lot in the past 2 years. So we thought we'd kind of address ankle locks and just some basics and that sort of thing. We always ask our children, if the largest person came through the door and wanted to fight, what are you going to go for? And they're always going to tell you ankle locks. Get a good ankle pick or a single leg takedown and go for an ankle lock, because once you snap somebody's ankle, it's going to be very, very hard for them to counter and get up and defend themselves. So you got to be very careful, like any other joint lock. Some schools just do not believe in leg locks until you're at least a brown belt. We don't feel that way. We feel like the second you want to learn any lock, let's get started. Just go really slow with your partner. The ankle and the shoulder are super delicate, very gentle, and if you go too fast, you're going to get hurt and hurt the other person. Not to mention, we're big believers in progressive pressure, not instant pressure. So once you get a position, be looking for your partner to tap. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So my partner is going to start by, he's got his legs around me and his ankles crossed. So we're here just as such. Notice I really want to try to keep my hands off the floor, keep my hands on my partner. So I keep my posture, my elbows inside. I never want my hands out. I don't want my hands on the floor. This is bad. And I don't want my elbows like such. I want to try to keep them in. You can tell Evan's already he's trying to keep a good point of control. He's got his legs around me, his ankles crossed, and his hands on my wrist here. So what I'm going to do is, this is one of actually the easiest places to get to an ankle lock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to escape this position, and instead of doing what most people do, which is pass, I'm just going to attack the legs. So I'm going to come up, keep my head up. I'm going to bring my left knee in between his cheeks, and you see I'm on my toes here. I'm going to straighten my right leg and put it flat and turn my body, yanking my hand up. I'm going to put my hand on the inside of this knee and just basketball the leg. Boom, 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 boom. It may take me 2 times, it may take me 10 times of bouncing to hold it down, but this is where I'm going to start with. And if you notice that leg that was out, I'm bringing it in just for stability. So now I'm going to attack this other leg. I'm going to take my hand and just wrap. This inside foot, this right foot, is going to cup. So I'm going to have a seat, and I'm going to put my right foot cupping, as you can see on this side here, on his cheek. It's easier to lock him if he's on his side. So I'm going to turn him over on his side, okay? Just like such. That's how we're going to get started. And so I want to make sure his foot, right, is all the way inside my armpit. I'm going to use right here on my thumb line, this 4 inches of bone. And I'm going to place it right here at the Achilles, what we call a straight ankle lock. And used to, again, back in the day, they didn't let anybody do any type of leg or ankle locks, and now more people are doing it. I think under blue belts can do straight ankle locks, unless that's changed, I don't know, depending on the tournament organization and so on. And then I think blue and up are allowed to do, different types of locks. This is it's a pretty safe one, and as long as, just like any other position or technique, as long as you're careful with your partner, you shouldn't hurt them. They should be able to not get hurt. Notice how close that I am, though, to Evan. I don't want to be really far away. It's going to be easier for him to escape, and it's going to be a lot harder for me to get to submission. So I want to make sure that I am as close to him as possible. I'm in alignment with him, but if you want to make the ankle lock stronger, once you're like such, you can actually kind of turn perpendicular. You don't have to. This just is going to put more pressure on the leg and the hip, just going to make it easier to get the submission. But for safety's sake, getting started, you can be just right here. Now, notice I've got one knee on the inside, the other one is just like such. Now, here's the problem. When you start going for a submission, Evan knows this. He sits up, and he doesn't want to get submitted, right? So he instantly is trying to do whatever he can. So here's the problem. So what I'm going to do is, once I'm here like such, I see him coming up, right? I've got a knee on either side. I'm squeezing, getting ready to set up the submission. I'm going to put my foot just like such. Now, here's the danger. This is not the safest position, but it's definitely going to be the fastest position to prevent him from trying to stop me, right? So here's the problem, though. If I leave my foot here, he's going to take it, put it underneath his armpit, and he'll be able to tap me before I can tap him out. It's just the nature of the position, and it's going to be very, very painful. So what you want to do is, I take this right here, this big knuckle, and in the middle of my other foot over here, I'm going to place it just like such, just here. So we always say this is our starting position for this type of technique. He sits up to stop me, boom. So I go up just like this. So this is the first one, and then boom, boom. He tries to sit up, again, keep him down, and back. And the time again that it takes him to try to get rid of this is the time that I should be submitting this guy. I should be focusing on the submission, but just kind of weary of his counter and escape. So I'm here. I've got my foot hooked. I've got a knee on either side. I need to immobilize a joint by keeping some type of compression on either side of the limb that I'm locking. In this case, his leg. So again, we just talked about that if he sits up to try to stop me, I put my foot here. I need to be careful because he can very easily put it underneath. He'll get the submission. He'll probably make me tap before I will, just the nature of this position. So I'm like such. So again, this is one. He comes up to stop me two. The second I feel like I've got it, boom. I shouldn't be spending so much time trying to keep him away from me, as much time as I am focusing on the submission. I see students at competition, and they're just sitting there like doing this, and they're not doing anything with the actual technique. It's like focus on, not so much this guy, focus on what you're doing, tap them out. So the next one, which I personally find it, for me, the better position to get to, is I'm going to come here. So I've come out and over. This is the third one, right? The fourth one takes the longest to get to, but I find it to be the best one. So in order for him to actually get out, he's going to have to bring his leg towards himself, so that way he can put his foot flat on the floor, and to be able to try to come up on that foot, and to stand up, right? So I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is, I like to grab hold here, and then I'm going to move this away for just a second, so I can get my foot under. And then I take it and I tuck this like such. This is the fourth position, and I think it's the very best way to get this started when you're trying to go for these good ankle locks. So now what I'm going to do, let's focus on the ankle lock. Regardless if you want to come here, here, or here. It's up to you and how much time you have. Gi and no gi is going to make a difference because of the friction of uniforms and so on. But we'll just pretend like we're here in position 4. You can start whichever one you like. So now, again, this 4 inches of bone right here at the Achilles. You'll hear in grappling all the time not to have space right in it, and that's true. But in this case, it's okay because I actually want my elbow pointing up to get this straight ankle lock. Notice how it's perpendicular to his Achilles. And now, what I recommend is you come see my hand that's down here through this. If you can see this, I'm going to take my other hand and I'm just going to grab hold. And so I'm keeping, so it's more like I'm doing this more than anything. Now I'm going to arch my head back, squeeze my knees, pull until I get the submission. I need to stop the second that he taps because I don't want to hurt him. Again. So we're here. We'll do this nice and slow. So I come up, I keep my head up. Don't lean forward when you're escaping because they'll grab your head, and now you have 2 problems, right? You already have 1 problem. Don't make another one for yourself. So you're here, come up, knee in, post your foot, turn. This is just one way to escape this position. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Hold it down. Stability. And attack this one. Boom. Again, stay very close. You can start here like such. I need him on his side, so make sure you take this foot and come over. I like to be here, but it's always best to get to the 4th position if at all possible. Bring this here. Remember, I want the whole foot. Not like this, right? Definitely don't want it in front. All the way behind. 4 inches of bone, your thumb, hand reaches through, grab. Move your head, arch your back, squeeze your knees, and push your hips towards. And like we said earlier, if you really want to, if you're having trouble getting the submission, once you get here, you can scoot back, and you'll notice it's more painful, and they'll tap a little faster. It's not always necessary, super painful, that's an option. if you want to go for the crooked ankle lock, instead of here, you'll see people turn like such. I never had good success the way most people, teach this type of position, this hold. Crooked ankle lock, not legal for most people as far as under blue belts. And if you're a beginner, I don't think you should be really doing these types of things, but if your teacher allows you and it's okay, it's fine. I like the catch wrestling way, doing it better. I come over and I grab the heel. And I can move this ankle a lot more. And then all I'm going to do is just kind of keep this pressure here as I squeeze the knees. Boom. If you break someone's ankle, you're talking about 9 months to a couple years before they've done with surgery, rehab, and walking again. So be extra careful. Don't go fast with this at all. Very slow. So again, we have the straight ankle lock, crooked ankle lock, grab, boom. Cool? It's just kind of a basic, a very, very rudimentary basic on getting started with ankle lock, specifically the straight ankle lock and the crooked ankle lock. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment in the section below, or you can contact us, and we hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching.